Well, welcome back to Four Color Commentary. Thanks for watching. I'm Mark Allen. This is
Isaiah Mark.
Set.
okay. All right. Hey, we were, as I talked about last video, we're going to discuss Spider-Verse. You'll have to excuse Seth. Seth's had woke up with a bit of a cold this morning or something. So he's a little bit under the weather. He might not be quite as colorful as he usually is. But, you know, we'll see.
Won't be dancing.
Yeah, there won't be any dancing. Let's see. We got a bunch, as you notice, a bunch of Spider-Man books out on or comic books out on the table. Some of their favorite, they've got some of my favorite Spider-Man stories. Got some of their favorite Spider-Man toys. Even got the Jada metal Spider-Man out here, and so you know, just wanted to get into the feel and get into the groove of talking Spider-Verse. Now, we went and saw, about a week or so ago now, the Spider-Verse movie, and spoilers ahead for those who still haven't seen it. This is your chance to, okay? But anyway, the big news about that is this, you know, of course, I talked about last video, the Spider-Man 2099 showing up at the end of Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And so that was cool. The kids were, the boys, all three of them were jacked up about that. And even my 14 or my 15-year-old, don't tell her I said that. My 15, almost 16-year-old daughter was excited about that. She was excited about the movie. So, but just kind of a few of the stories got out here on the because you have to recognize the character Spider-Man, who of course. What's the word I'm looking for? Inspired the whole Spider-Verse concept. Of course, we have the reprint of the Amazing Fantasy number 15, first appearance of Spider-Man, with that, strangely enough, Jack Kirby cover, even though Steve Ditko was the premier artist on Spider-Man, and still probably the most noted artist on Spider-Man ever. And, of course, this was the copy to come with the Marvel Legends figure back in the day. And got the ad for the Marvel Legends Classics. Actually, no, Spider-Man Classics predates Marvel Legends, a Toy Biz line. But Spider-Man Classics, that was so cool because you had the battle-torn Spider-Man, and you had the Rhino, and you had the regular Spider-Man, and you had a Daredevil figure, and there was even a black and yellow Chase Daredevil figure. That because he appeared in the black and yellow, his first appearance. But
I've seen that one.
I'll put a photo of that up on up here somewhere, and to remind you of that, or for those who've never seen that, I actually have owned all. Well, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. I never owned the Rhino because for a while he became very hard to find, and I did own the Daredevil. I did own the Spider-Man on the billboard. But anyway, so that was, you know, of course, the first, when you talk Spider-Man, you have to talk first appearance of Spider-Man. One of my favorite stories of all time, Spider-Man number 200, is when Peter Parker loses his spider powers and but finally gets to face the burglar who killed his Uncle Ben, and that was just still a great story and great times. One of my another favorite Spider-Man story of mine, Amazing Spider-Man 263 with Spider Boy. I don't even remember this kid's name. It seemed like it was Ollie. Was his name. I just remember, kid, very smart kid, kind of a nerdy kid, but he was very smart in making mechanical arms and becoming kind of Spider-Man. Before that, he was
liked Dr. Octopus.
He liked
and
Dr.
he wanted
Octopus.
to be just like Dr. Octopus.
He wanted to be just like Dr. Octopus. So this is actually his second appearance. I have both of those stories though. I don't know if I have the one with him as Dr. Octopus on the spinner rack, but I have two copies of this. I have this one on the spinner rack, and I have a copy in bag and board. So, you know, another one of my favorite Marvel team-up stories. I actually have two copies of this. Marvel Team-Up 55, but two copies were on the spinner rack. I didn't know that. But Spider-Man and Warlock from years ago, from back in the 70s, it is, of course, a beater. That's why it's on the spinner rack. But John Byrne, early John Byrne art, wonderful John Byrne art, and Bill Mantlo writing. So just some great Spider-Man stories out here. I'm going to show you one more here. Move that for a minute, because this was also one of my first the Spider-Man stories. Not first, but that I really liked as a kid. 1978, so I would have been 10 years old. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 18, where he fights Iceman. He's trying to save the Angel there, and it all takes place in Champions Tower at the time, the superhero group, the Champions. And if I remember correctly, Iceman is being mind-controlled. And so anyway, great stories, great stuff, lots of great Spider-Man memories. But with the Spider-Verse, Marvel seems to be trying to make, I think, make that. There's a lot of negativity about what the new Marvel is doing and everything, but with the Spider-Verse, I think they're just trying to keep alive and make new forms of that magic, around Spider-Man. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I think so. Like, the real big one is recently everybody's been really into Miles Morales. And his uncle showed up in Spider-Man Homecoming. Mm-hmm. He was the guy who was webbed to the car. And at first I didn't like him because I'm like, no, Peter Parker's the only Spider-Man and only ever will. But especially in the Spider-Verse, they did a really good Miles Morales, and it made me want to read the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales issues that I've seen.
Sure.
Pretty cheap.
And they're already available in a lot of dollar boxes out there, and the early appearances will be hard, but everything's been reprinted. So I've even, and I'm at 50 years old, I am a Peter Parker Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, however, you're old. So.
However, I'm starting to appreciate what Marvel is doing, what the creators have done with Miles Morales. He, gained this character has gained some traction, and evidently is not just he's not just a rip-off character with different powers and a little bit of a different background. And to me, really the smallest thing, the smallest detail. I may get in all kinds of trouble for this on YouTube, but the smallest detail is that he's ethnic, black, Hispanic, or whatever. That doesn't seem to play into it a whole lot. They write him as a real person with real problems, and that's just with just things I've heard and what little I've read with Miles Morales. Anyway, we've got some famous covers figures here. I forgot to mention these are famous covers figures from. These are actually older than Seth, but these were the fully clothed figures with the cloth costumes.
Pretty sure you gave these to me for my birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave those because they. Well, you have to understand that. Wow, Dad handing down used toys for his birthday. Well, I still had the box, still had the original boxes and all that kind of stuff. So it was like getting new stuff. Now they're not like new anymore, as Electro's missing his electrified mask there.
It's
and everything.
Somewhere in the box.
It's somewhere in the box, but that's cool. Even got the black suit Spider-Man, So these were really cool toys. This was I don't know if it was Toy Biz or what. I don't remember what company it was, but they were trying to obviously appeal to that nostalgia of the old Mego figures, and which they did a good job. They did a great job. The costumes are even better, even though they still have the kind of the mitten hands, the mitten costume hands and some of that. But hey, it works. But anyway, so okay, the movie. What did you guys think of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
You want to go first?
All I gotta say is it was awesome.
Awesome. Very cool. Very good movie. I have to say I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I took it, as buzz grew about it, I became curious, and I was the obvious choice to take the three of them to see the movie because their mom wasn't going to.
Well, when we first heard about it, me, my sister, and her friend and Seth were all watching the trailer, and Dad said, "No, that looks so stupid. I don't want to see that."
Yeah.
I don't think I used the word stupid.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I think I pretty much said I'm not interested.
Okay, that might have been it. But anyway, and then as time went on, he was like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta get in to see the Spider-Verse movie," and he just got better. He wanted to see it more and more, and it was worth it.
Got more interested as time went by, and did enjoy it. Now, some things happening with the Spider-Verse, as with every other Marvel movie. Every time a character pops up, or there's news of a character popping up in any kind of Marvel big screen production, whether it's live action or animated, well, that people begin scrambling for that character's first appearance. That has happened with Spider-Man 2099, and. Last video I had talked about how I got the first appearance of Spider-Man 2099 Amazing Spider-Man 356, I believe it was, with the hologram cover. I don't remember if it was 356, but it was the hologram cover. Referred to my last video about a week ago. However, now it turns out that there is another. Oh, I should have gotten that out. I didn't. But Web of Spider-Man.
Oh.
I'm going to have to look it up on. Y'all entertain the audience there while I look something up on CLZ. By the way, this video not brought to you by, because I don't do commercials, but if it was brought to you by someone, it would be brought to you by CLZ, the comic organization app that no collector should be without. Boom.
Yeah, he has it.
Yeah.
Alright, so best things in Spider-Verse. I don't know, that's really hard. It was all amazing. I really liked seeing...
You said amazing.
I know it's... Oh.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Anyway, forget the cringe. So, I liked that all the characters from all the different universes showed up, and it was really cool because you got to see Spider-Ham, which are really funny comics. I wasn't a big fan of Spider-Gwen, but they did her really well, actually. But, so that was good. And like I said, I really liked Miles Morales in this. And, yeah, he was good.
Very good. All right. What about you? What was the best thing about Spider-Man? Into the Spider-Verse?
Don't look so complicated.
He did.
TikTok.
It's really hard. Honestly, I really like the suit of Miles Morales. The suit was awesome.
Okay, very good. All right, now, I had mentioned that Amazing Spider-Man 356 has come up as it was a preview of Spider-Man 2099, so it's considered by many to be the first appearance now. However, something else has popped up in Web of Spider-Man number 90. Web of Spider-Man number 90, which was another hologram cover. I'm trying to do two things at once here. I want to make sure about the Spider-Man. Well, I can't even find it now because I haven't added it yet. Spider-Man 356.
Batman that or something.
Right. Well, anyway, Web of Spider-Man when it was published with a poster in the middle of Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 with no explanation as to who that character was. And that's just popped up. This predates the first appearance of Amazing Spider-Man, the preview. And actually, I've had these hologram covers for a long time because, as I mentioned in the last video, I just love the hologram covers. Well, I have the silver, and so you can get the light catching on that. And then I have the second print, which was done in a gold hologram, which I think, in a way, are even cooler than the silver holograms, but that's just me. A lot of people do not. Problem with these holograms is that they don't always keep their luster and their shine over time. Some of them do, some of them don't. So, that having been said, and that whole long big production, to illustrate how people go after those first appearances of characters when Marvel has a new movie or a new production out. Now, there's been a few Spider people, a few Spider characters, and y'all already mentioned Spider-Ham. His Peter Porker, the amazing or the spectacular Spider-Ham, is his first appearance is going for bigger bucks now. Also, I just this week put up Amazing Fantasy #1 with the first appearance of Arana, in there, because people are wanting that now. And actually, this was one I picked out of a dollar box about 2 years ago. Gave it to my daughter, their sister, with the other 5 issues. First Arana story. She never read it. I saw that it was starting to tick up, and I went and got it, and it was still in fairly decent shape, and it's up on eBay right now. But here's my thing. Here's my question. Where's the love for a young lady named Mattie Franklin? Mattie Franklin was the third Spider-Woman. And in 1999, these came out. This issue number 1 came out with at least these 2 covers. There may have been another. But when I say where's the love, I really mean what's the history? Because I don't know. I didn't follow this book. I picked these up on a cheap deal. I mean, I've bought a lot of comics over the years, made good deals, and gotten cheap comics. I don't know if anybody knows the history of this, but if you maybe comment below a little bit about what happened to Mattie Franklin, the 3rd Spider-Woman, and why she's not as popular as some of the other Spider characters. I don't even know if she's showing up in the Spider-Verse or anything like that. Know nothing about her. So if any of you know, some of you have been commenting lately on the videos, let me know. I do know that she got her powers from a storyline involving Harry Osborn. Norman Osborn. I'm sorry, Norman Osborn, and that her powers were mystically given to her somehow. So anyway, that's what I know about that. So final estimation on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you rank it? How good a movie was it?
100.
Wow.
It was awesome.
That's quite a ranking.
Probably 2,000.
Okay.
Not quite that.
10, yeah, 10.
10?
10.
10? Both of you give it a 10? Okay, so that's 2 10s from Isaiah and Seth with, for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Definitely going to be a sequel with Spider-Man 2099 showing up. I cannot remember his name, his real name. I know he was a Hispanic guy, but I can't remember. Miguel O'Hara. All right. So anyway, first appearance of Spider-Man 2099 going for bigger bucks, showing up in the post-credit scene of Into the Spider-Verse, destined to be a big player in the next movie. And as far as I know, Marvel has already slated a sequel, so it's going to happen. All right. Well, what do you think about Into the Spider-Verse? If you've seen it already, comment below. Don't forget to like, and if you haven't subscribed to 4 Color Commentary, please go ahead and do that. Big thumbs up. We appreciate those who've been commenting. Appreciate. Oh, and by the way, I just discovered a new YouTuber. I'm still kind of new to this YouTube thing, but discovered a new one that I really like. Comic Tom 101. Man, that's a great site. They do daily, like Monday through Friday. That's our target for releasing videos 5 days a week. They do a great job. It's slick. It's slicker than we'll ever be probably, with the radio style microphones and all that kind of stuff, and the camera work. And but I see that they do that somehow with their cell phones. So there's probably I'm thinking there's, because whenever you see Comic Tom, you see a cell phone whose camera is pointed at Russ, the other guy, and I'm thinking there's an app maybe. There's an app maybe that we can use if we have a couple of cell phones or a couple of smartphones to do that with. Anyway, that's shop. We'll stop talking shop. And we're done with talking comics. So, hey, thanks for watching 4 Color Commentary, and we'll see you again next time.